made for you meals, where we're keeping it lean by making it clean. You already know the name. It's your boy Chef Payne. Now before we continue, I must ask you, something I want to start doing at the beginning of every video is, how are you doing today? If you're doing well, spread the love with me. You can get a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell for post notifications so you get all my updates. If you're not doing so well, hopefully something in this video puts a smile on your face and you can keep up the pace. So let's get into the video. What's the food for the mood today? You know, I'm feeling a little New York. You know, it's getting cold. Sun. You know what I'm saying? Sun. Okay, no disrespect to any New York watchers I have. But Bodega style chopped cheese sandwiches. If you don't know what it is, think of it like a Philly cheesesteak, but instead of having steak, you have ground beef with a little cheese. Make like a cheese sauce almost. Then a little lettuce, tomatoes, onions if you want some, maybe some ketchup, maybe some mustard, or you can go plain, whatever you like. But at the end of the day, the sandwich is going to bring some warmth to your soul. It's going to be a nice delight, something hearty to get the party started. That didn't rhyme. I was doing so well with the rhyming. But regardless, I'm just excited to make this. So, New Yorkers, New Yorkies, whatever you call yourselves, welcome to New York. Let's get started. Alright, so time to season our meat. So we're going to start off with some adobo seasoning. And this is lean ground beef. This is 2 pounds of lean ground beef. Some smoked paprika, or as I say, smoked paprika. Complete seasoning. Crushed red pepper flakes. Rushed red peppers. And you can add as much of that as you like, depending on how spicy you like your meat. Some garlic powder. Sprinkle dinkle. 4 passes right there. A saw eyeball in it. Chili powder. Remember, we just go across the top, cover the meat as much as we want. Smell the seasoning. Determine what you want. Celery salt. Just a little bit of this. Some black pepper. Alright. And we're wrapping it up with some seasoned salt. The little bit that I do have. Alright, now we're going to mix this up. Oh my, I'm dropping it. Oh my goodness. I'm hitting the camera. I am tripping. Now normally what I do is, when I'm seasoning, is I'll put the first seasoning, mix it up, put the second seasoning, just so it's all evenly incorporated, but I'm trying to make these parts faster. Because, I mean, regardless, once you mix it up like this and you mix it up really well, it's all going to get in there, especially when it starts to cook down, all those juices release. All that seasoning is going to mix around in the pot, so it's no big deal. Alright, and then, like I told you in the last video, if you watched my Thanksgiving video, you got to smell it to make sure it's good. Onion powder, sprinkle dinkle, cross top once, twice, 3, 4, 5, and we'll go 6. Little mustard powder, or ground mustard, just a little bit. That's enough. And we're going to do just a little dash of cumin. Just a little dash of cumin. A little dash of cumin. Probably like a teaspoon of cumin. Alright, and now we're going to mix this up one more time. And we're going to cover this up and let it marinate for at least 2 hours. You can do less time than that. You can cook it right now if you wanted to. It's all up to you. But I usually prep my meats early. The more it marinates, the better. You don't want to let it marinate too long. Usually I do a day if I really want to taste that flavor. But and since this is the main part of the dish, it's a sandwich, so the meat is the main part, you really want this to be flavorful. So we're just going to let that marinate. We're going to cap it off. Stick it in the fridge. So let's get this meat started. So first things first, you're making pretty much any ground beef dish. peppers and onions. You gotta have your sauteed peppers and onions. So we're gonna do a little extra virgin light olive oil. Then we're gonna come in with our peppers and onions. Turn that heat down just a little bit. I usually like more than this, but this is all I had, so we'll go with it. And then in order to get that caramelization process started, I need some brown sugar. Brown sugar! It seems like a lot, it's really not. So this is all the sugar that's going to be in this, and the sugar is going to help balance out the saltiness. So something I've learned from studying different cuisines on my own is the perfect salt to sweet ratio balances everything out. So if the dish is intentionally supposed to be salty, then you obviously don't add any sugar, but you could still add a little bit because it helps bring that saltiness out a little bit more. So that's like if you make cookies. When people make cookies, they tell you to add salt to it. One, to help with the leveling of the cookie when it bakes, but also to help bring out that sweetness even more. So now that that's in there, we're just going to let that go. Turn that heat up just a little bit more. We turned it down, now we're going to turn it back up. Let it get started. Cover that up, let those sweat, let them get nice and soft and caramelized, and then we're going to add our meat to it. Alright, so that should be good. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add our meat to this. Mix this up a little bit. Got that good old juice in there from the peppers and onions, and now we're going to add our meat. So like I said, this is 2 pounds of lean ground beef. So this is a 90-10 ratio. So the only 2 kinds of ground beef I usually use, or ground beef I use, is ground round, which is an 85-15 cut, and then lean ground beef, which is a 90-10. Then you have your ground sirloin, which is a 95-5, I'm pretty sure. I think that the ground round has a nice balance of fat in it without having too much fat. So when you do this right here, this is very important. So the whole point of caramelizing peppers and onions is to make them soft, give a little sweetness to it. It complements this salty beef very well. But to get the real use out of it, you want to mix in your peppers and onions into the meat while the meat is still soft. So as it starts to cook through and become tougher, it locks in those peppers and onions. I do this when I make my spaghetti sauce, my meat sauce. Anytime when I make my tacos, anytime I'm making ground beef with peppers and onions, this is what I do. And then by sweating them out at the very beginning during the caramelization process, you allow those juices to come out. So once you add the beef to it, it sits in that pepper and onion juice, and oh man, it adds so much flavor to it. You don't understand. But if you do this, then you will understand. So I'm just going to make sure this is incorporated, and then once we come back, the meat will be cooked down, and then we'll get ready to strain it. So I'm going to let this cook down, and then I'm going to strain it. Once it's cooked down, what you can do before you strain it is you can taste it and add any more seasoning, whatever kind of seasoning you want to add to it. And that's the time you do it. Because once we add the cheese to it, it's a lot harder to season it the way you want it to be, because you don't want to add seasoning to that cheese mixture. It may not blend well. So the time to add more seasoning is when this cooks down, is all brown, and is ready to be strained. So now we have our meat. You can break this up a little bit more if you'd like to. If you want big chunks in it, that's fine too. So now we're just going to add our cheese. So this is a mix of Colby Jack, cheddar. You kind of can use any kind of cheese you want, as long as you have some type of orange cheese in here. So I have cheddar cheese in here. It's going to give it that good color. So this is about 6 ounces of cheese right here. And so what you want to do is just let this melt. And as it starts to melt, turn this up just a little bit. You can add more as you go, depending on how cheesy you want it to be. But this is pretty much it. So you just let the cheese melt down. You add more cheese if you want to. And that's pretty much it. And then after this melts down, we're going to add this to, we're going to go ahead and assemble our sandwich actually. So let me go ahead and help this along just a little bit. And you want to keep messing with it, because what's going to happen is it's going to start to not solidify, but become combine a lot. Some people do this with a cheese sauce, so you can make like a cheese roux and put the roux on top of this. I think this is just a little bit better. It's kind of more closer to like a Philly cheesesteak or an actual chopped cheese sandwich. Usually with the chopped cheese sandwich, from what I'm aware of, I've never actually had one, but from what I'm aware of, sometimes they use yellow American cheese, and they'll just put the ground beef on the sandwich first, then they'll throw the yellow American cheese on top of it, and they might toast it in the oven or whatnot. This to me is just easier to do, and you can make a lot of this. And if you wanted to like make this with your kids, you could do this part, and then you could go ahead and put the toppings on the side, kind of like taco night, and you can have their own bread and everything, and then they can just assemble everything as they want to. And they can see the cheese come apart and everything. It'd be something very interesting to look at for the kids, if you have any kids. And if you don't have any kids, and you just enjoy looking at the creativity of food, then this is something you can do also. To see the cheese apart, you're like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, this looks good. If you love looking at cheese all stringiness, look at this. Look at that. Oh man, so we're gonna add just a little bit more cheese. A little bit more cheese. We're gonna turn the heat down, turn the heat off all the way. So this is hot enough to melt the cheese on its own. You can do pepper jack cheese. Pepper jack cheese would probably be really nice in this. You don't want anything that's too creamy, in my opinion. I wouldn't do a cheese that's too creamy, like a Havarti or a Gouda or Gruyere. I wouldn't use any of those cheeses. I would stick to like a hard cheese. Not even necessarily a hard cheese. You wouldn't want to use maybe like a Parmesan, but something that's kind of like a mild but could be sharp. So like a sharp cheddar. You could do white cheddar. White cheddar would be very strong though, so you'd have to have something that balances it out. So maybe like a Swiss cheese or something like that. I'm not a cheese expert, but I make the Mac Daddy of all Mac Daddy cheeses. The Mac Daddy of all baked macaroni and cheeses. So, I've done a lot of research when it comes to cheese. But at the end of the day, it's all personal preference. This is just my way of doing it. I'm pretty sure there are people who are from New York probably saying, man, this ain't the real old New York, son. This isn't real, son. But this is just my way. So as you can see, it creates this thick, oh yeah. So when you put this on a sandwich, you bite into it, it's going to really hit the stomach, and you're really going to be full after this. You might even take a nap. So this is like a good walking through New York weather type of sandwich, where you wrap it in foil, and you walk it through, go into the subway, take a bite, take a bite, take a bite, pause, take a drip of your pop, something like that. So let's go and get this sandwich assembled. I'm talking too much. I'm just too excited. Tomato, just cut the top off. Be very gentle with it. Put this inside. There. And this has already been rinsed off. Alright, let's put this bad baby together. So this is my sandwich. So what we're going to do is first, we're going to lay down the foundation. So we're going to go with some lettuce. I love me some lettuce. We're going to go lettuce. Then we're going to come, excuse me camera, my apologies. We're going to come with some red onions. Just a few. Not too many. I'm just going to lay those on the side like that. Like so. Get some of these big onions off of there. Okay. Then, this is probably, many people might get upset about this, but I love ketchup. It's my favorite condiment. So I gotta put some ketchup on here. A little bit more lettuce. I need some ketchup. Okay. And then, we're coming with the beef. Let's just go ahead and just do this like this. So, grab a pan. Come on now. Oops. Oh shoot. I'm making a big mess. It knows what's about to happen. I'm about to devour this. A little bit more. And I toasted my bread. Got a nice little color on top. And what I did, I put butter first. And then I drizzled some honey on it. It adds so much flavor. And that's pretty much it. This is the complete New York style Bodega chopped cheese sandwich. Or Bodega style chopped cheese sandwich. And take it off autofocus so you can get a good look at it. There we go. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Go ahead and get a bite. Ooh, get a bite. Go ahead. Get some. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. My turn. Here we go. The time has come. All my New Yorkers. This one's for you. But first, before I take this bite, because it's going to be a nice delight, a sight to see for you and me. But I need you to do one thing first. Okay, maybe 2 and 3. Like, comment, subscribe. You knew it was coming. Don't act as if you didn't know it was coming, because you knew it was coming. You did it? Did you do it? I think you did it. I have faith in you. So now let's take a bite. Let's do what we do. Lips. Mouth. Alright, there we go. Gotta get a good bite of this. I add a little more ketchup on top. I love ketchup. What can I say? See, when you have toasted bread, this is very dangerous. So be careful when you're toasting your bread, because I don't want you to cut your mouth with this part. Let me just bite this off real quick. You know, we're just gonna go for it. We're risk takers. I'm doing this for you. Last name Payne. Why should I complain? That didn't happen. A real bite. Here we go. It tastes like a hamburger, but more compact. The extra ketchup brings out the hamburgery taste. That's the only way I can explain it. Some of you might want more cheese. I like cheese, but I don't like to go crazy with it because my stomach, we don't agree. me get a napkin. Good as new. Man, that's delicious. I love it. One thing I would probably add more is green bell peppers. And less onions, less red onions. I like onions, but those onions were nice and right. But I thank you all for watching. Don't want to hold you up any longer. Recipe down below. Well, the ingredients will be down below in the comment section. Well, in the description, my apologies. In the description, I'll have a list of ingredients, the seasonings I use. So if you want to make this for yourself, by all means, take a picture of it, tag me in it, share this video. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully at the end of this video, at some point throughout, if you weren't having a great day, you're having a better day. If you were having a great day, you share that love with me so I can get back to you in the next video. Made for you meals. Keeping it lean by making it clean. You know the name. Chef Pain. See you later. Peace.